decided to walk in. I don't know why.
Want me to walk into?
Should we walk in? Okay. Are we live?
There we go.
Greetings. We're going to walk in. Yes. So we're going to walk back.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're walking in. Walking in. Dramatic entrance. We're walking in. We're now sitting down. Don't really know why we did that. But
it's good exercise.
It was
Thank you.
great exercise. Not that you need it, and I certainly do. So, welcome to another Lattes with Lorimer. It is a gloriously warm, balmy even, Tuesday afternoon. Forgot what day it was there for a second. And we have one of the nicest chaps at PLG, always quick to crack a joke, and even quicker to break a smile. And gonna be pretty quick to break my neck if I don't get into the interview. Mr. Lytel Young! Ah! So, before we get into it, we drink our coffee, our lattes. Chars.
Chugging your lattes.
Thank you.
That was good. It's tasty.
Here's the chaser. Does this have milk in it? Anyway. Okay, good. So, all joking aside, I met you, how long ago now? About 6 months, 8 months?
I guess it was sometime in September. It was the end of the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met at the Skirball sessions, Steve Shull's event, which is always a great turnout, and it's full of great real estate minds. And we're going to get into that in a minute, but you are someone who you're a true creative. You are someone who has just fit right in here. Everybody, everybody says everybody at every company's great, but the way that you just kind of, you're like the popular kid at school here. Everybody likes, we all like being around you.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We all want to be you.
This is awesome.
So, before we get into the real estate stuff, tell us about you. Where did you come from? How did you find your way into real estate? I'm sure it was, not the first gig you ever did.
Right. Well, you know what? Can I go back for a second?
Let's go back.
Because Peter's being very modest here. Now, I went to this meeting, this presentation where Peter was speaking, and he was amazing. And I'm sure at some point you've probably seen some footage of me like going, ah, man, this is amazing. Oh my God. But it was so mind-blowing that I just, after Peter had spoken, I had to go down and have a conversation with you because it was something, you were speaking a language that I don't often hear in real estate. So hats off to you, and now here I sit.
I think I'd been drinking very heavily that morning, but anyway.
And a lot of energy, tons! But you always have a lot of energy.
Always do. So, like I said, you are a beautiful addition to our growing family of creatives and crazies and wild horses and pirates or whatever you want to call it.
Thank you.
Tell us about you, where you came from, what you did before real estate. I always think that's really fascinating. So how did you get to where you are now?
Well, actually, I came from outer space. No, actually, from Wilmington, Delaware, born and raised in Delaware. I've been in LA now for about 20 years.
Okay.
I moved here from New York. But, there's so many different layers of my life and what I've done that led me up to where I am right now. So, I can go back. How far back do you want me to go?
Broad strokes.
Okay, well, in college, I went to Delaware State University. I did a lot of singing. I sang at every event. I was a guy on campus, like, get Lytel to sing, get Lytel to sing. So after I graduated from Delaware State University, I then signed with a modeling agency and a recording studio, which took me to New York. So now I'm in New York. I'm sort of speeding this up here. I was in New York under a independent recording contract, performing with 2 other artists. So it was 3 of us.
Yeah.
While I was doing that, I was an apartment manager at Macy's. I had men's suits, trousers, and blazers. So I was always, I've always juggled a lot at one time, because in my mind I thought, okay, I went to school, so I just can't go out and take on a job. I need to have a job. Like I was enrolled in the executive program at Macy's. So I was singing, doing gigs at night, and doing this executive program at Macy's during the day. So I did that, and I was an assistant store manager of a sporting goods store, an optical store, and then I moved here to LA, and I pursued an acting career for the first 7 or 8 years. And while I did that, I went back to school because I always had this love for interiors and architecture. So I went back to school for interior design.
Interesting.
I did that. Santa Monica College, and I transferred over to UCLA Extension Program.
Okay.
And at the time, I was an assistant to an interior designer. So I was doing that, and then I was acting as well, because I had some small, little, tiny parts. Did that. So while at UCLA Extension Program, in their interior architectural program, I snagged a really big client, a big fish.
Well, for design?
For design.
Oh, that's did you show me those pictures? You showed me?
No. This was,
Oh, this was celeb?
Yeah, this was a bit, just someone with a lot of money.
Even better than a celeb.
Yeah, it was a beautiful house in Palisades, Pacific Palisades, and I had a choice of, do I finish, this interior design program, or do I now focus on the big fish? I went with the big fish.
Good man.
And so I kind of put acting on the back burner. And then of course when you lease, have interest in something, things seem to knock on your door. So I received a call from a producer. And he said, we got your name from one of the showroom managers at the Pacific Design Center, because I was always in and out of there. And we have this show, so we would love to fly you to Philadelphia to do a test with the co-host. And I said, of course, why not? So I flew to Philly, did this test with the co-host. I was there for 3 days, which was perfect because my family's in Delaware, so I got to go back and hang out with my family. Flew back, didn't hear anything, but I was so wrapped up in this project that I'd been working on, it slipped my mind. So about 2 weeks passed, and I received a phone call from the producer and said, hey, this is so-and-so. We got the green light from HGTV. It's your show.
Damn.
Do you want to host this show? And I was like, host this show?
I had no idea of all this.
Yeah, and they said, and I said, I'm
learning along with you, viewers.
I was like, well, let me think about this. They said, okay, well, the show's yours. It will shoot in Philadelphia. We would either have to find you an apartment or put you up in a hotel. It's 13 episodes. It's a show that had been on, and the host, she had the show for 4 seasons, and she decided she didn't want to do it anymore. So I said, okay, let me think about this, because now, it's like taken away from my client, the big fish, to do a show, which I thought, okay, hosting a show, that's kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. So I thought, one day passed, 2, 3, the 4th day I called and said, okay, I can do this, but there's certain things that I need.
Did you end up doing the show?
I did the show. After I got a manager, and I said, well, this is what I need. They need to fly me back twice a month because I have some things here in LA. I need to be put up in a hotel, and not just any hotel. So I had all these demands. And my manager was like, okay,
this is
I don't know whether
HGTV,
they're gonna go for all of that, and they did.
Holy crap.
Went for it. And he goes, well, they gave you everything you wanted. And I said, okay, cool, so let's do it. So I did it.
What was the name of the show?
Save My Bag. It is a show about
Save My Bat.
Save My Bath.
A bath.
Yeah, so say you as a homeowner,
Yeah.
you had this horrible bathroom and you want it redone.
Oh,
I would go in.
I see.
And redesign the bathroom. And I designed all the bathrooms, all hand drawn, and it was great. It was a great experience. That show ended, and then the executive of HGTV called and said, do you want to do another season? And I said, okay. Then I went back to my manager and said, well, this is now what I want.
And did they give you it?
They increased my fee a little. Yeah, they did. And I thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity. Now, this is around the time when the market was going down. So when I was shooting the show in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
now, the part that I forgot to tell you along that whole journey there is, I also got my real estate license about 10 years ago. So I had it. Because I always thought interior design and real estate, what a happy marriage.
Of course.
And no one really, like that, there's a lot of agents, that's not their focus, it's combining those two worlds.
What I've noticed about, and this is no diss on anyone, what I've noticed, and it's my own kind of, and again, this is no diss on anyone here at all. Coming out of the music business, which is what I did, which is full of creatives, I presumed there was a lot of creatives in real estate, and I'm discovering that there really isn't the same percentage as there is in other industries.
Right.
Which is my naivety, which is one of the driving factors of why we started this, to have a home for creatively minded individuals in real estate.
Right. And that's what's so interesting about PLG Estates is that, and I tell this to friends of mine all the time, that it's a very, everyone is coming from a very creative mindset. A creative mind is very different than someone who is very corporate. I'm not saying that a corporate person can't fit in, but there's something that's a little bit different in their approach as opposed to someone who doesn't have that sort of creative thing inside. Like, I was a singer, I modeled, I've been in executive management programs, eye care, I've done a lot in my short time on this earth. But what I found is that what's most important is that anything you do, just be really good at it, because you could take something from that and apply it into what you're doing now.
Right.
And so that's what I've always taken something from what I've done in the past, and I use those experiences and I pour it into.
It's fascinating. That's another realization that I had. When I left the music business, I was petrified that was the only thing I could do. And then it has kind of dawned on me over the years that if someone has an attitude towards another career, whether you're a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker, it doesn't really matter. It's really down to the mindset and all the old cliches. You only get out what you put in, and I think that I could end up opening an espresso bar in Vietnam. I'd probably drink all the profits, but it would. To me, and I used to sell men's clothes as well.
Oh, you did?
That was my first job.
I knew it. We had something in common here. See?
It's the 30 inside leg. I used to sell, and it's a dark Northern English history of me working underage to feed myself after leaving home so young, but we won't go too Billy Elliot on you. But I'm going to move off that subject because it brings back bad memories.
I'm getting nervous here.
But tell us about your aspirations. Tell us about future stuff to do with real estate, stuff not to do with real estate. What are your dreams? What does the future hold for Lytel Young?
Okay, don't want to leave anyone on the cliff. Just to wrap up that story, so I did that first season, I did a second season, and then I came back.
We're getting into the details here.
I came back, and the market had crashed.
Yeah.
I had no clients. Real estate, I wasn't really doing real estate, I was doing interior design. Although I was with Windermere. Do you remember Windermere?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I was with them for about 6 months. That was my first place where I laid my license. Yeah. So I came back and everything had dried up. I mean, design offices were interior design offices. They were closing their doors. And I was one of the small fish in the pond. So I had absolutely no business at all. I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do now? And someone introduced me to the residences.
Oh, yeah.
And the person that was handling that whole project called me in, sat down and talked. He said, this is what's happening. Nothing was selling over there at the time, nothing. But I thought, it's an opportunity.
We have about 3 minutes.
Okay. So yeah, it was an opportunity. Fast forward, here I am. My aspiration, is to combine those two worlds. I want to be known as the person that, you need to find something, but you need to sell something first. So I want to be there to help you sell what it is, your home, that is presented in a way that it's appealing. So I want to do that, and then I want to find you. Well, that's what I'm doing, but I want to be big.
Sure.
A bigger.
So a really good niche for you would be sellers out there that are watching this that may want to find Lytel. You can find Lytel on the website, but what is your Instagram handle, for example, if you want?
Lytel Young _real estate.
Lytel Young, Lytel Young _real estate, and you will find him there. But you would be a perfect fit for someone that has maybe an older house that maybe needs to be redesigned, put on the market, and then they can transition to a new home.
Exactly.
You kind of, instead of them paying someone else to do it,
I'm the guy.
they can get you and get a great real estate agent at the same time. All right, cool. Okay, last question. Nothing to do with real. Two last questions. City that you'd like to go to that you've never been?
Oh, I've never been to. I've been to Italy, but some places like just towns.
Okay, Tuscany.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's technically not a town, so you don't need to
okay.
tweet on there or whatever you're going to do. And then, favorite album?
Stevie Wonder.
Which one?
Kid Life.
Yes, of course. That's the best, man.
I mean, the guy is just awesome. Awesome. He's like one of my favorites.
Oh, hello. Are you replaying it already? All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, we're very comfortable. We could go on all day if you'd like. No, I'm just kidding. I know you guys, everybody's got busy lives. But you know what? I think this was such a good interview. I think we should do a part 2 sometime in the near future.
Sounds good to me.
So we can carry on with this lovely story of men's clothing and
I tried to fit it all in.
Philadelphia and TV shows and real estate and design. But Lytel, this is where we stand up and where we hug.
Oh,
Thank you, mate.
Hey, thanks. This is brilliant.
Thank you very much for being on Lattes with Lorimer. We will see you all again next week, equally caffeinated and equally bubbly. Until then, we will see you all from Beverly Hills. Ta-ta!